All right, well, y'all know I'm Kayla by now. This is Soul Session. Today we're just going to be analyzing Trenton and really trying to see what the issue is. Um, and more so have a discussion about how we can fix it or just analyzing what the issue is and figuring out the next step. Let's start there. Yeah, so Trenton. Trenton is like what, 7 miles long, 8 miles? I'm from West Trenton. Trenton makes the world takes, but obviously that's not what's happening right now. It's not. Like, Trenton was founded when my grandparents came here, it was totally different, like totally different. And it just went downhill. Once the factory shut down, once the war was over, everything just kind of like went downhill. And then I heard after the riots, when MLK was killed, a lot of things were burned down, and none of the companies, none of the, you know, run by what I'm drawing a blank. None of the companies, for example, just startup companies, stuff that, not like mainstream companies, when they burned down, they took their business elsewhere. So that's why and then it was just left there. So, and nobody came back. And it's slowly starting to come back, but we got a bunch of dollar stores and hair stores. That's mainly what's in Trenton right now. Dollar stores and a splash of like different restaurants, but that's it. And the government buildings and Trenton High and other schools and churches, and that's about it. But when it comes to businesses, there are not. Dollar stores every corner, liquor stores every corner, but that's it. So I think we're trying to rebuild, but it's just like I feel like everyone's caught in this one loop. I feel like people think that I'm not credible to talk about this because I didn't grow up in the hood. But Trenton, like I said, is 8 miles. Like, it's kind of hard not to pay attention. Like, obviously I am paying attention. I know what's going on. My mom teaches in the education system, Trenton education. My dad was, my parents my parents work for the city. So I'm gonna say my whole family, but like basically everyone works for the city. So I know what's going on in the education system. I've heard the stories. I have a TV, I have cable, I know what's going on. So I think I'm just as credible as anyone else to talk about it. Education system is, I don't want to blame it all on the white man for not giving us the opportunities, but it's a 50-50. Because that's what people say, oh, it's the white man taking from. I really do think it is because of lack of funding, obviously. It's an inner city school, nobody's paying attention to the kids. But at the same time, I have a lot of education friends, a lot of teachers, and it just doesn't come down to, oh, they're not getting money, da-da-da. It comes down to, okay, we're making laws to fund, okay, let's make laws, let's put like a policy in place to say fund or get like new laptops or new chairs and desks, and because Lord, yeah, new desks, all that, no one's there from the city to vote on that. Like, the people in the city, citizens, have a chance to speak on it. And because, certain households only have one parent and they're working 1, 2, 3 jobs and have so many kids, they don't have time to hop out and like go to this and sit down for 2, 3 hours, listen to somebody speak. People don't have time for that. So, and because of that, you can't have vote on policies to fund these schools, and now we're stuck in this loophole. And then you're not getting the proper education. So now you're resorting to other stuff. You said what? Yeah, not everybody can afford higher education. One, you're not getting a good high school education. It's hard. It's not hard to get into college. It's hard to afford college. I realized you got loans. Not a lot of people can pay out of pocket. Like, it's just hard. So, which is understandable. And so now you don't have an overall, I don't want to say solid education, but it's not. It could be better. It could be way better. The kids deserve way better. Like, people deserve way more. And because you already had the school to prison pipeline system, so now now you don't know what to do when you finish high school or if you finish high school, and now you resort to other to drugs and doing whatever on the streets. Now you getting arrested. Now you're in and out of it. It's just one big loop. And now you get out of jail. You can't find a job. You work in minimum wage. You have so many kids. It's a single parent household. And now the kids are back into the school. Like, it's just one. You can't speak from like, okay, it's so easy. You have both parents, da da da. One can go. Like, you have, I don't know. Like, there's people who are, the parents are really, people are trying to keep the household together. People are trying to keep the lights on. People are trying to keep food. You got not one kid, two, three, four kids, and you're the only parent in the household. Like, I get, like, you can go and make a way, but it's just like you have no jobs in Trenton. But the kids don't know because they're kids. Like, you can go and get a better job. But it's like, oh, because there's no jobs in Trenton. A lot of people I know don't own cars. A lot of people I know don't have a license. So how are you getting outside of Trenton to, okay, the bus? Okay, the bus is taking you to the mall. You're still working minimum wage. And you still got all these kids. 3 or 4 kids, like, there's only so much you can do. Like, you just trying to get your kids to go to school to get an education. I think that's step one, which people are doing. The kids are going to school. So it's just like, I don't know. Can we start voting some other way for different policies? Should we start sending a letter home with the kids to vote instead of having a meeting where they got to come to, parent-teacher stuff? Instead of going to the conferences, let's send a letter home. Read this when you can. Vote on it, mail it back, send it back with the kids. That might have to be an option because a lot of people can't just, if you work in 9 to 5 as your regular job, and then you work in 5:30 to 8. When do you have time? And usually meetings are between 5 and 6, 5 and 7, 3-hour meetings, and you got 4 kids. This one's in sports, all 4 of them in sports, and this one has music because you want to be them in the band, like put them in the band. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff for kids to do. You don't have a car, you don't, like, come on, like, that's just a lot to put on, especially one person. The school system might have to adapt. Like I said, you might need to send letters home. Instead of having meetings, send a letter home, and this is what we're taught. Don't make it long, 2-3 pages, because I'm not reading that either, and I have time on my hands. I'm not reading 2-3 pages. Send a little page. I'm not doing it. Just send a little page. How do you want this done? Check yes, no, I want this, I want that. Sign it, send it back to the kids. Have the kids bring it to school. Like, the school system might have to adapt. Look at, okay, people are not coming. People cannot come because of the way the system's set up. People can't come. So let's find a different way to really push the school system, really change it to fit the economic and the social aspect of these kids, of the community we live in. The kids deserve better, like, they really do. Like, it's not their fault that they're put in certain situations. And I feel like if you start there, if you start maybe middle school, going into high school, if you fix it and really show kids, like, this is what you can do, I feel like you're going to have a different outcomes. School structure, Trenton High can't have the same school structure as, say, Princeton. You can have the same education, but the way you run it might have to be different because you're coming from different living environments. You can't keep, right, it's not one uniform. So fix that, and I feel like, see what happens, and I guarantee you things are going to change. Like, I guarantee you there's going to be, HBCU tours. Put that in there, start talking to the churches, get something going. Because I know they do church, they low-key do put church in Trenton High. Like, gospel and all that other stuff. Connects with some of the churches around it. There's plenty of them, and they're helping the community. So, okay, because I know my church does an HBCU tour. Like, people are working. I can't say people aren't working to try and do better because people really are in Trenton. Like, it's just exposing, getting the kids to, like, just, I don't know, exposing them to something new. Like, you can go into the arts, but you don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be a rapper, but you can still go into the arts. Why don't you go into film? Why don't you go into photography? Right. There's different, you don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to rap about drugs, guns. I know that's all you see. I get it, but let's expose them to, I know they expose them to band and, like, instruments and stuff. But still, film, just, like, different stuff. Like, painting. Let's try this. Let's try that. Let's try writing. Let's see if somebody can like, let's, write a book, like stuff like that. Like it's easy to write books now. It's easy to write books and get them published. So I'm so cold. I'm like shivering. So yeah, I feel like give the kids a way to express themselves because they do go through a lot. Whether that's stemming from out the womb all the way up to like everyone in Trenton is going through something. Give them an outlet to express themselves. And I feel like people are now, our generation, we're doing that with the rappers and just different stuff, sports. Just I feel like a lot of people in Trenton, our generation, we're getting out there because we're just tired of it. I think we're just tired of it. We're adapting, or we're rebelling. A little bit of both. I think we're in the middle. Yeah, I don't know if we're adapting, but we're still rebelling. We're just sick of it. We have to find another way.